At some point, everyone has thought about digging a hole to the center of the earth, right? Maybe you had a toy shovel. Maybe you were 5 years old. Maybe it was last week. No judgment. But the real question is, how far down have humans actually managed to dig? And if we really wanted to, could we go deeper? Could we maybe even reach the core? Stick around, because this video will answer all of that. How far we've dug so far, why we can't go much further, and what our future drilling dreams look like. Once again, welcome to WebSky TV. Let's dig in. We start right at the surface. At just 1.8 meters down, you hit the standard grave depth. So if you're scared of zombies, this is how far they need to crawl. Next up, 4 meters. That's the depth where King Tutankhamun's tomb was found. Not bad for ancient grave robbers. 6 meters? That's about the max range of your average metal detector. So if your treasure is deeper than that, consider it safe or gone forever. At 12 meters, you reach the bottom of the deepest animal burrow, courtesy of the Nile crocodile. 20 meters down, that's where you'll find the Paris catacombs, a giant underground crypt holding over 6 million skeletons. Romantic Paris vibes? Anyone? 40 meters brings us to the world's deepest swimming pool, Deep Dive Dubai. If you fall in, it takes about 3 seconds to hit the bottom, enough time to reflect on your life choices. 100 meters down is where some countries bury their nuclear waste. So yes, if you ever feel like your problems are buried deep, it could be worse. 105.5 meters takes you to the deepest metro station in the world, Arsenalna Station in Kiev. Bonus, free leg workout on the escalator. 122 meters is the deepest we've ever found plant roots, a fig tree in South Africa. At 220 meters, you're swimming in the Congo River, Earth's deepest river. 287 meters gets you into the deepest road tunnel in the world, Ryfylke Tunnel in Norway. 305 meters is where the US military's B-6111 nuclear warhead can still ruin your underground party. It's not just surface level drama. 392 meters down, the deepest well ever hand dug, the Woodingdean water well in the UK, finished in 1862 with 0 power tools. At 603 meters, you reach the deepest vertical cave drop. Falling down this would take over 11 seconds. That's long enough to scream, question your life, and scream again. 700 meters is how deep the Chilean miners were trapped for 69 days in 2010. At 970 meters, you arrive at the Bingham Canyon mine in Utah. It's an open pit, so deep you could drop the Burj Khalifa in and still have room for dessert. 1,410 meters, that's the site of the deepest concert ever, held by the metal band Agonizer. Because why not mix screaming guitars with suffocating claustrophobia? At 1,642 meters, welcome to the bottom of Lake Baikal in Russia, the world's deepest lake. 1,857 meters takes you to the deepest point in the Grand Canyon. So next time you're hiking, remember, you've still got miles of rock under your boots. 2,197 meters is the depth of Veryovkina Cave in Georgia, the deepest cave on Earth. At 3,132 meters, we hit the Moab Kotsong mine shaft in South Africa. Fall from the top, and it takes 25 seconds to hit bottom, long enough to receive a call and ignore it one last time. At 3,600 meters, scientists found a multicellular worm living happily ever after. No sunlight, no Wi-Fi, just vibes. 4,000 meters takes us to the bottom of the deepest gold mine on Earth, also in South Africa. It takes over an hour to get down, and the temperature can hit 66 degrees Celsius. That's not just gold, that's lava with branding. 6,000 meters is about where Earth's oceanic crust begins. That's deep, and still nowhere near the center. 8,848 meters? That's Mount Everest, flipped upside down and buried. Everest as a carrot. 10,984 meters is the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench, the lowest known point in the ocean. And guess what? Humans have dug deeper than even that. The Z44 Chavo oil well in Russia, drilled in 2012, holds the world record at a whopping 12,376 meters. That's deeper than Everest is tall. Deeper than the deepest ocean trench, deeper than your last relationship. But here's the catch. It wasn't a vertical hole. It was directional, which means it kind of slithered underground like a high-tech earthworm. Still, that's the deepest point humans have ever reached beneath Earth's surface. The deepest vertical hole? That's the Kola Superdeep Borehole, 12,262 meters, drilled straight down in Russia. Started in the 1970s, abandoned in 1992. Too hot, too expensive, too hard. So, after all this digging, graves, gold mines, crocodile holes, and creepy concert caves, what's the deepest we've ever managed to dig? It's the Z44 Chivo oil well in Russia, 12,376 meters deep. That's like stacking 15 Burj Khalifas on top of each other, and still not even making a dent in the Earth's crust. But hold your shovel, because, plot twist, that hole isn't even straight down. It's a directional well, meaning it curves like a lazy noodle underground. So technically, the Kola Superdeep Borehole, 12,262 meters straight down, still holds the vertical digging crown. You might be thinking, come on humans, we have Wi-Fi in airplanes, and AI making cat videos. How hard can it be to dig deeper? Turns out, very hard. Once you get past 12 kilometers deep, the Earth becomes a real diva. Temperatures soar to 180 degrees Celsius plus, hot enough to cook pizza and melt your equipment. The rocks? They flow like plastic, crushing anything in the way. And the cost? Well, let's just say your shovel budget isn't going to cut it. Even the mighty Soviet Union had to give up after 20 years of trying with the Kola hole. Are we still trying? Yes, but smarter, not harder. China is now attempting to dig 15,000 meters down, still ongoing, and we're watching. Companies like Quaise Energy want to vaporize rocks with freaking microwaves to reach 20 kilometers deep for geothermal power. New materials and robotic drills are being developed, but nothing's cracked the melted rock and infinite pressure challenge yet. Let's zoom out. Earth's crust can be up to 70,000 meters thick, and the core? Over 6,371,000 meters deep. So far, we've managed to dig just 0.2% of the way there. That's like deciding to walk from Lisbon to China and giving up before you've even left the airport parking lot. So next time you're planting a tree, digging a hole on the beach, or just bored with a shovel in hand, just know you're joining a proud human tradition of not getting very far. But hey, at least we tried. And who knows, with enough science, funding, and probably a few more microwaves, we might just make it a few more centimeters deeper in the next few decades. Subscribe for more mind-blowing science stories. And don't forget to like the video before gravity pulls you away.